There is a lot going on in the Santa Barbara housing market right now. And by a lot, I mean investors, developers, the government are all trying to come together and figure out a way to create policies, plans, procedures in order to increase supply and give a little relief to the renters as well as the buyers in this area so that we can figure this all out together. Obviously, we've gone through a lot in the last 3 years, and so have the prices. The rental prices have gone through the roof. The price for a home in the area have gone through the roof. And all of these buyers moving from Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, coming to Santa Barbara in hopes of getting their own slice of paradise here, well, they've had to start renting and wait and play the waiting game until more inventory comes. And that has just driven rental prices through the roof. We also have UCSB increasing its enrollment and not adding housing on top of that. So what are we left with? We are left with sky high prices and individuals and families who feel like they have nowhere to go. And in this video, we're going to talk about 3 pieces of local news that you should know about as we head into summer and have an idea of what may be coming down the pipeline when it comes to increasing inventory. My name is Alexander Stoeber, and if you could like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, I would really appreciate it. Let's get into it. Over 200,000 families applied for assistance from the state because they were affected. And well, the state has not been able to actually process these applications as quickly as originally thought, which means that landlords are fronting the bill and having, renters stay in their units and their homes without actually being able to pay their rents. And what the state has been trying to do is to disperse aid to the landlords directly based on applications from the renters. Well, that moratorium on evictions that the country put in place, it's been on extension now in California until the end of March. Well, March has come and gone, and there are still thousands of families who have applied for these grants and this aid and haven't been able to get disbursement yet. So where does this leave them? It leaves them on the hook and waiting. So what California has done with its most recent bill, this is Assembly Bill 2179, and Assembly Bill 2179 actually gives an extension on the moratorium until the end of June. So it gives them a few more months to actually put together some way to repay the landlords, and the state is helping on that. What you should know is that $32 million has been distributed to 7,500 families total, and now in Santa Barbara, United Way is processing applications. They're working through 2,000 different applications for families and households in order to help them be able to get through their hardship and be able to pay their rents. And now what we're seeing is that United Way still has $16 million left to fund the aid for these families, and they still have likelihood of seeing more support coming from the state as well. So this moratorium is really to help the state catch up and help these families get back on their feet in order to stimulate the economy. And also, we already have a homelessness issue in California. We have really a huge population of homeless people in California, over 100,000, and this would drastically impact and increase that amount. So really what we're seeing here is the state trying to hedge off and bite that issue in the bud, because we would have just a flood of people flowing onto the streets into shelters. And right now what they're able to do is just create this eviction moratorium extension until June 30th so that they can figure things out in the meantime. Another development that's in the pipeline is called Heritage Ridge. And Heritage Ridge is a 332 unit apartment complex, 104 of which are affordable housing units. And this apartment complex would be built right here, right in Goleta, and it's off of Los Carneros, Calle Coral, and Camino Vista. It would be right next to the train tracks there, and it would add quite a bit of housing here to Goleta and allow for some relief for these students who are not living in student housing because there's not enough. UCSB has not built out additional student housing to accommodate the additional enrollment of the area. So that's impacting the renters, well, all over in Goleta, Santa Barbara, even Carpinteria, and it's driving the rental market up. As I said, the inventory is so low. Well, what's keeping this development from going through is a creek. Los Carneros Creek is coming through this area, and in order to build, you have to be within outside of 100-foot setback from any creeks, and this is a major issue for this development because they are not outside of the 100-foot setback, and there are quite a few different organizations that are in opposition to it. The Santa Barbara Audubon, Sierra Club, and Urban Creeks Council, the Citizens Planning Association, and the Goodland Coalition. These are all organizations that are teaming up in order to really just shed light on this project and make sure that it's not harming the ecology of the area. There are also many birds and butterflies that live in this area currently. I mean, it's a big field right now. There's not a lot going on in this area, and they kind of want to keep it that way, or at least just make sure that there's oversight into overbuilding. And overbuilding is an interesting concept right now with the rental market the way it is, and different students at UCSB actually being homeless while they're trying to study. So that is another development going on. We'll see on April 25th, they have another hearing in order to decide how they're going to move forward. So I will keep you in touch and updated on that as well. I'll post a link so you can take a look at this article additionally. And then finally, what you should know is there is a 30-room self-check-in hotel that has been greenlit to create a conversion of a commercial building here in downtown Santa Barbara, right on Garden Street and Cana Perdido. It's right on De La Guerra, the corner of De La Guerra and Garden. It's going to add 30 additional short-term units that are all self-run, self-check-in, and the owner has gotten quite a bit of pushback over noise and security issues from the area because there are quite a few seniors in this area, and they're concerned about the ruckus of the area, and they are a little bit perturbed because it hasn't been a huge public announcement. There hasn't been as many public hearings, and it's because this building was a commercial building before, and it's going from commercial to commercial use, so there hasn't been as much of a need for ensuring that there was community support, and there are mostly just exterior changes is why there wasn't as much of talk or deliberation about this business going forward. And the owner has said that he is actually putting in security measures at the Valerio location that he has. He has a Casa Valerio on 6 East Valerio Street, which has security measures that have decibel level readers and alerts to managers when things get too busy, too boisterous. And since he already has a smaller scale offering of what he would be doing on Garden Street, he does have some historical context for this building as well and for this type of business. He says that he hasn't operated, since he's operated in Santa Barbara, he hasn't had a police report, and he's expecting that due to there being 30 units on the property, there's almost always going to be staff members on the property making sure that things are in order. So this could have some implications for the short-term rental market, the hotel market as well. And as the short-term rental market gets more inventory, then it's possible that we could have more long-term rental markets, more long-term inventory, as those two are the deliberation for most owners if they want to do short-term or long-term. And as long-term or as short-term comes down, it's possible that long-term rental housing will come down as well, and then we may see that there are more affordable rental units in Santa Barbara if this is the case. So that is what I have for you today. You should know eviction moratorium extended to June 30th. We saw Heritage Ridge Apartments, that those will continue deliberation on April 25th, and then this is proposed 30-room self-check-in hotel. They will continue deliberating on this, and it should be moving forward here pretty soon with its conversion. So if you have any questions or you want to know what's going on in the area, happy to give you the lowdown. There will be links to these articles in the description. And please, once again, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications for future videos. Thank you so much, and I'm out.